So will the new team Modi be able to infuse new energy, new vigor, new josh into the union government, and will it improve its ability to deliver politically and administratively? Will it help Team India win? That's the big question I'm asking tonight. Joining me on this broadcast, representing the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, its spokesperson Amit Malviya. With us, representing the ruling Congress, the opposition Congress, is Sushmita Deb. We have Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, who studied the Prime Minister, written a book on Prime Minister Modi, understands his mind, his journey, his way of thinking. TV Mohandas Pai joins us, well-known industrialist, watcher of this government. And with me in the broadcast is India's foremost political commentator, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, let's start with you. Do you think this government, in its new avatar, has enough new energy, new vigor to be able to deliver on the promises Prime Minister Modi made in 2019 in time for the next elections of 2024?
Let's divide that question into a couple of parts. The first obvious part is that when you bring in 43 new ministers, some who are elevated to cabinet rank, it naturally brings in an element of energy, a sense of purpose, because you're new, you're fresh, you're dying to go to work. I sense that when I met a couple of mantris today who have been other new mantris, they were all dressed up, all keen to go to work, be there at 9 a.m. in the morning. So I think it's important that after 7 years where the government has largely been very status quoist in its choice of ministers, Mr. Modi has not wanted to really be too disruptive when it comes to his ministers, not too many reshuffles. I think that makes a difference. So I think on the energy factor, no doubt, with a number of younger MPs becoming ministers, it helps. Whether that leads to delivery, efficaciousness, meeting targets, timelines, will require not just a change in appearance, but also a change in mindset, Rahul. The mindsets will have to change. You'll have to delegate, empower ministers much more. You'll have to ensure that it's not just a small core team of loyalists who are taking all the big decisions. The decisions are spread across the table. I was, to be very honest, pleased with the fact that the government seemed to have an element of ministerial accountability when people were removed and others were brought in. But I was disappointed, frankly, in some critical portfolios that perhaps require much more than just interdepartmental jugglery.
Where are you disappointed?
For example, I am unable to understand how the Ministry of Environment and Labour and Employment, you're going back to the dual charge system. I believe environment is critical for the times in which we live. Climate change is going to be a big issue. It should be a ministry that you focus upon. On the other hand, when you combine education and skill development, I think it's an excellent idea because there's a natural convergence there. So my sense is, while a lot that has been done in terms of appearances, I think is positive, in terms of the optics is very good. The representative character of the cabinet with more states, more caste groups included is politically very wise. I still wonder whether in terms of decision making and delivery, you're going to have to change some of your style of functioning, ensuring that ministerial accountability is not just once in 7 years from now. It's going to be much more regular, and you're going to get them, it's more participatory.
Let me
cannot be top
put
down.
that question